Hello everybody, welcome back to Planet X News. This is Scott from the Nibiru channel. It is July 26th, 2017. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, last night a situation popped up and we kind of knew that its ugly head would rear eventually because certain people out there, well, they just weren't trustable. And the situation that I'm referring to is Mr. Potter and his interview with DAZZA the cameraman, notorious Planet X debunker. You know, folks, I sat by, I watched the entire Hangout interview with this debunker and Mr. Potter, and actually I thought it was a pretty big joke. And it seems now that Mr. DAZZA earned himself a degree in psychology overnight. The same thing applies to Mr. Potter. He now is a counselor and a psychologist, knows all about mental illness, and made reference to this mental illness, made the reference to the doctor. On top of all of that, now he turns into needing the support of the troll factions on YouTube that troll every channel pertaining to Nibiru, Planet X, Wormwood, the Blue Kachina, you know, whatever it may be. Because, folks, you have to understand something. That is what these people are paid to do. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's a fact. Now, early on, I had my doubts about Mr. Potter because on several occasions with video conferences between myself, him, and the doctor discussing certain things that we were finding on the SETI imaging and stereo and LASCO and so forth, we caught him on so many occasions screen capturing and recording our conversations. But what Mr. Potter doesn't understand is that is a form of wiretapping, and it is a violation of state and federal laws. But who cares? But what he was doing is he was documenting everything that was said, because some of these conversations between myself and him and the doctor lasted hours. So he wouldn't be taking notes. It would be easy for him to just screen capture and record the whole entire conversation, so therefore he can give that information to his handlers. I truly believe that Mr. Potter is some type of government informant of some kind. And later on this morning, the doctor is going to be on during a live stream with us, and she is going to lay it all out right on the table about Mr. Potter. Now all of a sudden he wants to become best friends with Astronomy Live and DAZZA and the rejects over there at WTF Sky, all of the people that he actually wanted to physically assault. He made his threats towards Astronomy Live and DAZZA and the rest of these cronies. Now he has gone turncoat and moved to the other side. And in this interview that he did with DAZZA, the psychologist, he admits that he pretty much never believed in any of this Planet X research, that he just took the papers and reports that the doctor was submitting to him and he wanted to have a YouTube channel, and he needed content, and she was supplying him with that credible content coming from a professor of psychology and a woman who holds 2 master's degrees, a doctorate, 17 years of lecturing at a university. I would call that pretty credible. No, she's not an astronomer. However, as she has stated before, she did want to be an astronomer, an astronomy professor. However, the university that she attended did not offer that curriculum. She wanted to stay in the science-based courses. She decided to become a physicist. Okay, great. She graduates at the top of her class, has always been at the top of her class, has always been an intelligent woman. 2 master's degrees, a doctorate. I think that she has the right to speak on any matters related to astronomy, astrophysics, or physics. It's not like she hasn't studied these subjects before. She has actually studied them quite a bit. Now, as far as Mr. Potter goes, he has a degree in dancing and acting, as far as what he has told us. Key word, folks, acting. Mr. DAZZA, well, literally overnight, he earned a degree in psychology or psychiatry, and now he's making the statements out there that Dr. Elbers is mentally unstable. What a joke. So, we're talking about 2 individuals that put on a big show over the course of the last, let's say, 9 months. With Mr. Potter making outrageous videos about him being trolled, and, you know, we've all seen these outrageous videos of his that are absolutely ridiculous, and the majority of people watched his YouTube channel for comedy, not science. But we're going to get into a lot of information that Dr. Elbers is going to uncover to all of you about Mr. Potter. Big eye-opening information. So it's pretty bad when you have to turn to the opposition to support you because you've been left out in the cold because you cannot be trusted. You know, ladies and gentlemen, back many months ago, the doctor made a conscious decision to get in touch with me, not Chris Potter. Chris Potter has made the claims that he brought me into this community. I don't consider it to be a community. And he didn't bring me into anything. I've been investigating Planet X and information from Zachariah Sitchin and Dr. Robert Harrington since 1989, since the beginning of this information hitting the media. I lost track of it for years and years because I was involved in my own career. They bring up a lot of riffraff, as I would call it, basically in their interview trying to discredit me and to discredit the doctor, basically saying that we're just in this for the money. Well, YouTube money, listen, it's not that great. It's ridiculous. But now that Potter has turned turncoat to the opposition, I'm requesting that any of you that have subscribed to his channel, you should immediately, after watching this video, go to his channel and unsubscribe. Because basically what you're looking at is a hypocrite. And why would you want to be subscribed to an individual who is just basically a hypocrite and cannot be trusted in any way, shape, or the form. But it's pretty funny how he supposedly hated all of these people, hated Astronomy Live, hated DAZZA. But now, they're his best buddies. Pretty funny. And then, during this live hangout last night on DAZZA, the cameraman's debunking YouTube channel, he actually admits that he suffered from paranoid delusions and was heavily medicated for a while. Let me repeat that. DAZZA, the cameraman, admitted last night in his own live stream that he suffered from migraines and paranoia and was heavily medicated on probably psychotropic drugs. So now he wants everyone to respect his professional opinion on our physicist, who is a doctor of physics. And Chris Potter is a doctor of acting. Acting. No formal education whatsoever. The majority of the time, whenever myself and the doctor would have our video conferences with him, Mr. Potter, he wouldn't understand 1/10 of what we were talking about. And as we started to do these live streams on YouTube, many people were emailing me, leaving comments in the live chat and stating, hey, can you please get rid of Potter? Can you please get rid of him? Get him out of the live stream. He brings nothing to the forefront with this information. He's silly. He's stupid. Oh my, the comments were just absolutely horrendous. So, yesterday on the Planet X News Facebook page, I went ahead and I shared DAZZA's video so everybody can see what a turncoat, what a backstabber Chris Potter became, and what an idiot DAZZA the cameraman truly is. And all he does is simply attacks people that are trying to gather information related to what is happening in our inner solar system. Oh yes, he digs into your personal past and tries to make a fool of you. But yet he never tells you the complete truth. He never shows you a complete video of what he's debunking in its entirety. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is all a masquerade of deception. And that is what these people are paid to do. So Mr. Potter claims through many of his videos that he works for Oracle, a big computer tech company. He's a customer service representative. Apparently he works from home. And apparently he has received his job through Oracle and took part in getting that job and deceived Oracle and took part in a program for people who are disabled, and Oracle allows them to work from home. Well, the majority of you have all seen his videos as he prances around his apartment getting his bottles of water from the refrigerator, and it looks to be that he walks pretty fine, except for that little girly type skip that he does across the floor. He has his punching bag that he wells away on, kicking and punching, and for a disabled person, well, he doesn't look very disabled to me. Stated that he hurt his back, dancing and acting. And then in Mr. Potter's so-called past, He can't find an American woman to marry him, so he travels all the way to Russia, spends time in Russia, comes back with a Russian wife. Similar to the whole situation with Lee Harvey Oswald, the man accused of assassinating John F. Kennedy. And what did they call Lee Harvey Oswald? They called him a spy. And later on, through documentation and investigations released pertaining to Mr. Oswald, it was determined that he was a spy. CIA related, whatever. Is Mr. Potter within the organization a low sub-level of these NSA organizations? It's possible. Anything's possible, folks. But all they want to do is try to discredit the doctor and all of her information. But yet, Mr. Potter spent almost a year putting out her information. And then the doctor decided to come to me because his YouTube channel was very small. He only had 2,000 subscribers. So she took it upon herself to send me an email and asked me if I would be willing to help them. Well, in a discussion between the doctor and Potter, she mentioned that she emailed me. And Chris immediately became very suspicious, irate, paranoid, psychotic, all of those characteristics that he maintains. And then he immediately got off of the video conference with the doctor and called me because he had my cell phone number. He immediately had to start covering his tracks from that point on. And I had my suspicions about him for quite a while. And it was my philosophy that they were trying to contain the doctor's information on a small YouTube channel that barely reached 2,000 people. And they did contain her for almost 9 months. But then she became wise to the situation, and she knew that she needed to go to a bigger channel with somebody with more experience and a broader audience to help get the information out to everyone. So they knew what was happening and what was going to happen. I had multiple conversations with this man over the course of these last several months. Some of them jovial, some of them funny, some of them very serious. But always in the back of my mind, knowing and understanding that this shifty-eyed individual was a fake, and that he was part of some type of organization that was out there, and their whole operation was to contain the doctor's reports. So who cares if a couple of hundred people watch his videos every day? There was no way to get to this woman because they hid her, and they hid her information. But then whenever she came to me, I knew exactly what to do and what we needed to do. I definitely knew that behind the scenes that Potter was working against myself and the doctor. We knew that. We just needed to figure out a way to stop all of it. And then the situation arose with her job at the university, the whole situation that was transpiring in the very beginning with Astronomy Live, sending this horrible email to the university, basically doxing the doctor to the chancellor of the university, causing big problems with her job, basically a suspension leading to a dismissal, and then leading to her having to retire from the university. Now, Potter says that she just up and quit. Well, that's not the case, folks. She had a lawyer. He worked things out for her with the university so she could retire and get her pension, of which this university was ripping her off for 17 years. This university was ripping this woman off. That's how things worked in South Africa. It's a third world country. They got big problems. But she was a great teacher, lectured every day, maintained her job, did what she was supposed to do, but then she started making some very serious observations of her own. And then she knew something was happening. So she decided on her own that it was time to talk about this. Now, she never discussed any of this with her students. She maintained her professionalism at her job as a professor. She did all of this on her own. Then one day she decided to contact WSO and Steve Olson because they were doing a video about lens flares. And she contacted WSO. She started writing reports about her observations. And then they thought, oh, wow, man, look at this credibility. Wow, a real doctor of physics. Wow, this is going to add more credibility to my YouTube channel. So they basically used her. And Chris Potter got involved. She was watching his delusional YouTube videos, and she was trying to help him and correct him on what he was showing on his YouTube channel. Everything that he now quotes he never believed in. So this woman tried to help him, and what did he do? He just contained her reports to a very small, minute YouTube channel that really nobody watched. But later on this morning, we're going to have the doctor on, and she's going to give you her thoughts on Mr. Potter. She's going to give you the truth. Because understand something, ladies and gentlemen. She's a very good Christian woman. Very good Christian woman. She does not lie. She will not tell a lie. She's going to give you the truth. You know, they can say whatever they want about me and dig into my past all they want. I've never claimed to be an angel. I had my skirmishes with the law as a teenager and a young man. I'm not a pushover. I'm not a pansy ass. I will stand up for others as well as myself. They can spread my background report all over the world. I don't care. They've already done it. They've claimed that I was a child molester, bank robber, murderer, criminal. All lies. They just want to try and discredit and defame because, folks, that's in their handbook. We've already discussed that. WSO just publicized it. Richie from Boston, great YouTube channel. Love that guy. He just disclosed it again. I have disclosed it many, many times. I disclosed it again back in September of 2016. I even emailed the PDF file to this bozo Potter. I'm the one who tipped all these people off, except for Richie. I tipped them off about what I discovered. I already knew about the troll factions on YouTube before I started my channel and started to disclose the information that I knew about and that I was investigating. And then they bring up this whole issue about a business model that I was about to get into in June and July of 2016. A business venture that would have made me a lot of money. But I decided at that point that I wouldn't be able to run a business and devote myself full time to Planet X research and investigations. So I gave up money. I gave up real money to do this. So naturally they want to turn it around and just invent ridiculous stories. But as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, as we get closer and closer to the truth, they have to come up with more and more lies. Invent things, basically. But the truth usually comes out, folks. Who do you want to believe? Do you want to believe these individuals, or do you want to believe us? I'm not telling you to take sides, but what I am telling you is definitely keep your eyes open and think. Think clearly, because you see what is happening on this planet. Mr. DAZZA claimed in his video last night that all of this is due to the temperature increases on the Earth, water evaporation into the clouds, which then leads to the bad weather. Well, now all of a sudden, he's a professional on that. But he holds no degrees in anything that we know of. He asks that the doctor produce her documentation on her degrees. Well, don't you think that we should start to question him on his educational background? You know, and this guy talks about having PayPal accounts and advertising, you know, for YouTube advertising on your YouTube channels. Well, the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, none of you pay to watch YouTube. Advertisers do. I was involved myself in my career early on in the internet with banner advertisement placement. I pretty much was on the forefront of this in the mid-90s. So it's nothing that you're paying for. And YouTube pays pennies for this type of banner advertisement before videos. You have no control over it as a YouTube channel creator, and you never will. And the fact of the matter is, channels like mine, you're never going to make a living on YouTube because they simply do not want this information getting out there. So therefore, my channels are restricted in a multitude of countries on this planet. But what really got me is when Mr. DAZZA claimed and spewed out this garbage about the doctor suffering from mental illness. So like I said, when did he get a psychology degree or a degree in psychiatrics? Overnight? Mr. Potter states the same thing. But yet, even though he thought the doctor was psychologically unstable, he continued to put out her reports, continued his antics for months and months and months on end, deceiving everyone, because now he claims that he never believed in any of this. But yet, he talks about his early phases into this research, and what brought him to the forefront of all of this is because of what he saw in the sky. So now we know this guy is a natural-born liar. You know, folks, I studied body language as a course because I needed to. In my career, I was going to be involved in face-to-face presentations in high-level international advertising. My job was to read my client's body language, their tone of voice, their eye contact, their body movement. And every single time I spoke with Chris and the doctor on these video conferences, I read him like a book. And each and every time, I had major concerns. And then I began to have major concerns for the doctor's safety. Because Mr. Potter knew too much about her, and the doctor's not street smart, so she divulged a lot of personal information to Potter, which he is now trying to use against her. He's now making statements that she was sexually abused, mentally abused, and physically abused. And even if that was true, well, that should be no one's business. But that just goes to show you the low levels that these shills will go to discredit an individual. You know, nobody's going to get rich on YouTube. Nobody. And I invest in a tremendous amount of my time each and every day in researching what is happening. And one of the reasons why my YouTube channel is monetized for these ads is very simple. Is because of the way the algorithms work with YouTube. They always want to put the videos that are monetized with their advertisers, who are their clients. Those videos will be at the forefront in their ranking system. So it's kind of a pretty much of like a business scientific formula that they have. I'm fully aware how YouTube works. Last month, my YouTube earnings, I think, were just a tad over $1,200. But I have produced over 950 videos. And each and every one of these videos is still watched. Not much, because of the amount of the videos that I have produced. So they collect a penny here, a penny there. Not very much. So if you think that I'm going to make $1 million on YouTube, you're sadly mistaken. How many of you can live on $1,250? Probably not very many of you. But besides all of that, taking these people seriously, like Potter and DAZZA and the people at WTF Sky and Astronomy Live, understand that out of all of YouTube and all of the billions of people that watch YouTube on a daily basis, this is the only small group of people that band together to, as they say, debunk Planet X nonsense. That's it. That's all you have on the face of this earth are people like DAZZA, WTF Sky, and now Turncoat Potter. Just the laws of probability take over here, folks. These are the only people, this small little government shill faction. That's it. This is what they're paid to do. Very interesting. Very interesting. You know, and then Chris Potter's over there talking about, oh, how I made a statement that this is all for money. No, folks, you know, I had a big opportunity a year ago from a friend of mine who opened up a fantastic company years ago. And, you know, she had developed an all-natural teeth whitening gel combined with a blue light. And, you know, she opened up her company. She was doing very well. She has multiple offices all over the United States. We were good friends, still are. And back in June of last year, she said to me, hey, listen, my company has taken off. I've got multiple offices all over the United States. You're a very smart guy. And with your background and your business sense, you should open up a satellite office. And I did think about it. I actually discussed this matter with Chris, and he was so happy because I agreed to help him open up his own office in the Bay Area of California. Once again, a hypocrite. But ladies and gentlemen, I decided in late June of 2016 that making money from a business wasn't as important as bringing this information about what is happening in our solar system and what is happening to our planet. I considered that to be more important. So I put all of that aside because I knew that I would not be able to devote this much time to the Planet X investigations and run a full-time business. So yes, I gave up making a lot of money. You know, my business model put me at an earning level of over $250,000 profit per year from one of these offices, and my business model was for 10 offices in my surrounding area, which would have put me at well over $2.5 million a year. So if it was all about money, why would I be plugging away on YouTube every single day instead of opening up that business back in June of 2016? I'm showing you my dedication and my personality. I can shut the YouTube channels down today and open these businesses up tomorrow. The investment's very minimal. Will I do that? Absolutely not. This is entirely too important. And there are entirely too many people that rely on my information on a daily basis. Incredible situation that has arisen. Turncoat Potter. That's going to be his new nickname. But anyways, real quick, let me flip over here. Now, we're going to take a listen at one excerpt from this ridiculous hangout yesterday. You know, and as I am analyzing what Potter is saying, you can see his shifty eyes looking to the left, looking to the right, looking up, looking down. So word to the wise, everybody, whenever you are studying body language, and, you know, even profilers will tell you that whenever you're speaking to someone, pay very close attention to their body language. You can tell immediately by body language if somebody is telling you the truth or they're trying to deceive you. One of the main things that you're going to want to capture is eye movement. And whenever someone is speaking, if they're shifting their eyes to the left or to the right, that simply means that they're trying to deceive you and they're trying to think very, very quickly about what to say. When people look up and down, they're trying to recall something. But in the same aspect, they're trying to deceive you. I studied it. I read about it all the time. You can too. It's not hard. But let's take a listen. And, you know, old DAZZA here, he's going to tell you with his own stupid lips that, you know, he's not that mentally stable either. And anybody suffering from paranoia and delusions and taking, you know, some serious psychotropic medications shouldn't be trusted. But let's listen. Let's just take a listen.
So you think that Dr. Albers actually believes the, I have to say it, crap that she's spouting? So yes. In that sense, we have to be fair and say, well, she actually believes what she's saying. So I guess that really comes back to the mentally ill aspect of things, I would have to say.
Okay, so right there, he's trying to imply that the doctor is mentally ill. So when did DAZZA get his degree in psychiatry and psychology? Well, looking at his walls in the back over there, I don't see any diplomas hanging on the wall. But anyways, let's listen, because it's quite amusing.
Fair comment?
That's a fair comment. And I wanted to clarify.
Now, I want you to pay very, very close attention to Potter's body language and eye movement as he spurts out continual lies. Pay very close attention, folks.
That mental illness spans a great
eye movement. Do you see this? Eye movement. Eye movement. Case closed. But let's watch him. Watch the facial positioning and his eyes as he continues to lie through his teeth. Watch very carefully.
There's a huge amount of different problems or physiological symptoms that people will have.
Now, all of a sudden, he has a psychology degree and possibly a doctorate in psychiatry. But again, watch his shifty eyes as he continues to lie through his teeth.
That fall into the mental illness category. So, and when that term is used, it's used with care and love and kindness and not, hey, you're a crazy freak and weird.
Oh, so now he is saying that this is all done in care and love as he sits there and defames a professional, meaning the doctor. But let's listen to more of his spewing lies, and let's pay very, very close attention to the eye movement of Mr. Potter as he lies.
That's not, because there's a negative connotation to the term, And I don't believe that that is fair. So I just want to clarify that. You didn't say or do anything, but just because I care, I want to make sure people know that I do, and I don't look at her any other way other than with love. And
you see how he keeps looking away? He keeps looking away because he knows that he's lying and stumbling through his words very, very nervously. Pay attention.
I have concerns there, and I guess I just wanted to clarify that. So.
Sure, Chris,
Thanks.
and that's a good point. And in me saying that she believes that what she's saying, that so this comes back to mental health issues, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see here, once again, after DAZZA utters the words mental health issues, once again, he has to look down because he knows deep in his little shill heart that he's dealing with a professional woman that knows exactly what she's talking about, but he's being told and ordered to do this. Now, he may say that he's reading something there, and I'm sure maybe he is with those very thick pop bottle dorky looking glasses of his, but let's listen to him talk some more.
And I have to be fair and say, I've suffered depression myself in the past. I know what that black dog is like.
Now let's listen very closely, folks, because this is where he's going to admit that he suffered from migraines that he claims led to severe cases of paranoia and ingesting, for God knows how long, quantities of psychotropic medications that were prescribed to him to help him with the paranoia. And maybe he's schizophrenic. I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but we're only going by what the man is admitting and what happened to him. So now, if any of you follow this idiot, you're going to have to really second guess anything that he says, because we don't know at any point in time if he's suffering from one of these paranoid delusions. Let's listen.
Feel like you're down a really deep hole that you're never ever going to be able to climb out of. I've been there. I know what it's like. Okay. I suffer from migraine headaches, and for years I was on a type of medication to help prevent the migraines. But I think they actually also made me paranoid for a while.
Oh my! Well, listen, you hear it right from the devil's mouth, okay? Excuse me. I mean, now, are we supposed to take this guy seriously? I mean, he's suffered from paranoid delusions and was on heavy medications for years. Okay, but let's listen.
I was starting to have all sorts, I was starting to go down this rabbit hole of paranoid thinking along the sort of lines of the type of stuff that I'm debunking these days.
Well, there you go, folks. I mean, right from the idiot's mouth. I mean, I don't know what more to say. That this guy is absolutely insane. And if he should be talking about someone else's mental instability, I think he needs to just stop right now and go seek mental help, because maybe he was never cured and maybe he's still suffering from this mental instability, and maybe he needs to be back on that medication. We all know that Potter needs to be on medication. They should put him on some type of like heavy dose of lithium or something. But anyways, let's listen.
Would you believe that? DAZZA, the cameraman, paranoid about things, right? So
wow.
Yeah,
you really, that's huge, bro. Thank you for sharing that. That says a lot. Yeah, because anybody, you're right though, anybody could. Wow. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Wow.
Yeah, so I was just going to say that gives me a bit of an insight into the type of thinking as well, the paranoid thinking, because I have been there. I understand it, you know. I can understand what it is like to be paranoid. I've been there. So,
well, there you go, folks. He's a paranoid, delusional idiot. Wow. So these are the debunkers on YouTube that want you to believe every freaking word they say, because maybe they talk with an educated tone, have this cute little New Zealand accent, maybe sound like they know what they're talking about, but in fact, they suffer from paranoid delusions. And then you have other debunkers or troll factions that have backgrounds such as pizza delivery boy, I sell used cars, I'm a stay-at-home unfit mother. I mean, listen, come on. We all know what the deal is, folks. We all know that these factions are here to shut us up, dumb us down, and keep us in the dark. So the ball is in your court as human beings, followers of this channel, viewers and subscribers, to make the right choice. We try to bring the information as we uncover it. You know, none of us are absolutely perfect. We try to do the best that we can. But here's something else. The doctor has 2 more chapters of her book. 2 more. And hopefully by the end of this week, she's going to finish. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to proofread everything. We're going to make sure that this book is sharp. And then it's going to go to publishing. And then it's going to be out there for the whole entire world to read. And then, shortly after that, we're going to start scheduling these public speaking engagements for the doctor and myself. And we're going to divulge a lot more information to the world, and we're going to talk about the cover-up. But see, folks, this is what they don't want to happen. When I mentioned to the doctor about writing a book and doing this public speaking, Mr. Potter got a really bad taste in his mouth. He even told the doctor in their own private conversation that he thought it was a bad idea. But why would you think that would be a bad idea when we know that, YouTube has restrictions, different countries have restrictions on YouTube. We're very limited on what we can do and say on YouTube. So therefore, why do you think that would be a bad idea to write a book, disclose the information, blow that whistle like everybody else, and then publicly speak about it like everybody else? What type of educational standpoint are you basing that on? Well, you don't know anything, Potter. Stick to your customer service because you know nothing. You're a turncoat. You're a puke and a scumbag. And later on today, folks, later on this morning, the doctor is fired up. Very fired up. And she's going to be doing a live stream with me, and we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff. But she wants to address the remarks from Dave and Chris. And all they want to do is, DAZZA just wants to corner her into one of his live interviews where, he could manipulate everything and, try to make her look like a fool. But when actuality, last night during his own live broadcast, he made himself once again look like a fool. A man who suffers from paranoid delusions and was heavily medicated. Interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. But anyways, folks, I'm going to cut this short right now. And I just want all of you to know that each and every day, myself and the doctor continue to research and investigate on what is happening. No, we don't have all of the answers yet, but we are serious about what we're doing. Very serious. The choice is yours whether you want to believe these delusional characters, because that's basically what they are. They're characters playing the roles that the government has assigned to them, pretty much. And in no way, shape, or form are we done with Mr. Astronomy Live down there, because as soon as the doctor's finished with the book, she is going to be filing the lawsuit against Astronomy Live. That is going to be a liable case, and that is going to go to court. He will be served those papers. He thinks it's a game, he thinks it's funny, but whenever he has to go to his own attorney and probably shell out about $10,000 or more for a retainer to defend him, he's not going to think it's very funny. You know, we are still a few $1,000s away from retaining the attorneys in Tampa that are going to handle the case for the doctor. There has to be an investigation that the law firm has to perform before the suit is filed. Now, if I was making so much money on YouTube, the retaining fee was $5,000. If I was making all of this money on YouTube and I had all of these thriving businesses, I would have paid the retainer out of my own pocket. But unfortunately, I don't have that kind of money just laying around. And that's why we developed the PayPal account and we asked for your help. The viewers, the subscribers, the people that are following the information. Folks, there are 56,000 of us on this channel and another 16,000 of us on the Planet X News channel. I don't like to sit here and ask people for help. But banding together, this is just something that I had to do. And we are still a few $1,000s away from the retainer. We all know lawyers don't work for free. They're expensive. But I also wanted to find the top-notch law firm in Tampa to handle this case for the libel case against Astronomy Live and what he did to the doctor by sending the emails to the university and basically causing the entire situation which led to her retirement from the university. I truly believe that he needs to pay for that financially. So does the doctor. So, once again, if any of you would like to financially help out with whatever, $1, $2, $5, whatever, there's a link in the description box for the PayPal account. You can click on that link and you can help support the doctor and the lawsuit for defaming her to the university. But you know what? We got to thank that guy, because I truly believe in destiny, and that situation set the destiny in its course for where we are here today. And that was getting the doctor to the United States, giving her a peaceful, safe, and secure environment to write this book, start a new life, and be around someone that she can trust, and that is me. And she does trust me, and I do trust her. And we have a great working relationship. And no, she is not chained up inside of a cage, and they were saying that I let her out several times a day so she can write reports, do videos, and live streams, and then I lock her back up in the cage. So that's just absolute, complete freaking nonsense. Very laughable. We're here, folks. We're not going anywhere. And these idiots aren't going to stop us from divulging this information. That's a fact. You know, and talking about hypocrites, let's just move back over to this hypocrite right here. And let's move down and let's see here. He has a PayPal account also. Where is the information for his PayPal account? Well, maybe he took it out of here. He has this little disclaimer in here. He has his category set as education. But I know I saw this on one of his other videos. Oh, there it is here. If you would like to support my work by making a small donation or even a large one, then please go to my channel About tab. Click the link below and use the PayPal button. Your support will be most welcome. Thank you. You can make a small donation or even a large one. Yeah, right there, folks. You're looking at it. Mr. Hypocrite himself. So, folks, it just goes to show you that, you know, these people say one thing and they do another. So, if any of you want to go make a donation to DAZZA the cameraman, or a large donation, he has a PayPal account. He takes your money. He also has his YouTube videos monetized for monetary gain. And he rides on the coattails of other YouTube creators using their videos and their information to create his own videos that he monetizes to lie to you and deceive you. What do you think about that? That's a delusional man suffering from paranoid schizophrenia and an individual who is highly medicated on psychotropic drugs. And speaking about drugs, you're looking at one of the biggest druggies right there. Right there. We've all seen it. Myself, the doctor, many others. Admits it. Claims he has prescriptions for marijuana use, but yet still buys $300, $400, $500 in street level drugs. He did it right in front of me and the doctor. He even eats the stuff. He even appeared on several of our live streams, bombed out of his mind. And people in the live stream chat even said things to that. Hey, is Potter high? What's wrong with him? Is he on drugs? Get him off of there. Yeah. Very interesting things transpiring this morning, folks. I hate to bring you all the drama, but we do have to defend ourselves. That much is for sure. We do have to defend ourselves in this war, and that is exactly what it is. There has always been a war about information. There always has, and there always will be. Because there are individuals whether they be governments or factions, they don't want you hearing the information. Period. But don't fall for the hypocrites. Don't fall for their deceit. Because that's what they're there to do. They are there to deceive you. And once again, folks, if any of you want to support this channel and support the lawsuit that will transpire against Astronomy Live, like I said, we're a couple $1,000s away from the retainer. You could help us in that way. If not, hey, no problem. We'll get there. We'll get there sooner or later. The sooner, the better. Something else I want to mention real quick. The doctor has released report number 5. And report number 5 is brown dwarf stars and coronal holes. She has released report number 6, brown dwarfs close to the sun, the best evidence yet. And just yesterday, she finished article number 7, white dwarfs and brown dwarf stars. Now, all of these reports you're able to own for yourself. We've talked about this before. She has given the opportunity to anyone who would like to purchase the reports for $10. You can use them on your YouTube channels, and you could start to report on what's happening, utilizing your YouTube channel to help spread the word. So this is report number 5, report number 6, and report number 7 are now available. And if you would like to support the doctor and her channel as well as mine, you can do so. We opened up a Patreon account for the doctor. The link for the Patreon account is also in the description box. But if you would like to purchase any of the reports, click on the PayPal link and you can do so. Just leave us a little message in the comments section of your donation or your transaction, letting us know what your email address is and what report you would like to have. And for all of the hundreds of people that have already purchased some of these reports, you clearly saw that we sent you bonus reports. Multiple bonus reports, absolutely free, to help you get started. And the fact of the matter is, this also helps the doctor. This helps get the information out there. Nobody's making $1 million on it, folks. But these are professional papers. They're written by a doctor with a PhD in physics. She puts a lot of time and a lot of effort into this information. But so far, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you felt that $10, it was well spent. And now you're producing your own videos on YouTube, and you are gathering subscribers and viewers, and you now are helping to spread the word. It has become a team effort. That's what they don't want. They don't want us gathering the masses. We are a threat to that opposition. They know it. So if any of you want to jump on board, you have the opportunity. The doctor's supplying the information. It's professionally done. She does a great job. And these reports, they take hours to write and develop and research. But once again, the opportunity is there. The PayPal link is in the description box under all of the videos. But listen, folks, later on, you're definitely you're definitely going to want to hear from the doctor and her remarks and her statement dealing with Mr. Potter and what a turncoat scum he became. A deceiver. He deceived her. It's going to be very interesting. And there's going to be a whole lot of people out there that are going to be butthurt. But that's just too bad. You started it. We'll end it. This is Scott from Planet X News and the Nibiru channel. Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned.